Boker Tov, everybody. So this week's portion is Beshalach. It's a pretty famous portion as far as portions go because it contains Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea, which is a pivotal point in defining us as a people. It's the moment that we crossed the sea of reeds and became a free people. It's a pretty crystallizing moment for who we are. And we say that daily. We have Shirat Hayam in our daily liturgy. Mechamocha is in our daily liturgy. But I want to talk for a moment about an episode in this parsha that I think bears mentioning. Our people, is wandering and for 3 days hasn't found any water to drink. And so we come to a place, we finally find water, and we drink the water, mara, it's bitter, right? We can't stand drinking this water, even though we had a thirst that almost, 3 days is about the limit that you can have without water, right? And, so we were thirsting for water. We get to the moment where we finally have the water and quench our thirst, and it's bitter. This is really a metaphor for this moment of coming from slavery into freedom. We still taste the bitterness of slavery on our mouths, right? Before we can taste the water of freedom. The water is then sweetened, right? We're taught that, a branch is thrown in there and all of a sudden the water is sweet. But many of our sages say the water was always sweet. It was our perspective, right? Where we came from slavery, we couldn't taste the sweetness, right? All we could taste was bitterness. This is a very real reason why we have maror on our Seder plates, right? That bitterness of slavery was very real. Our people tasted that bitterness. They came to the water and that's all they could taste, right? And so I think it takes a change in perspective, even though we've had this moment and we've had all the miracles of, all of the plagues and the splitting of the sea, everything that God and Moses and Aaron, did for us, leading to this moment, but we still taste that bitterness. It's so easy, I think, to when all you've experienced has been bitterness and negativity, to continue to taste only that in your mouth, right? But to come to the waters and to be able to drink, that is a miracle, right? And so to be able to taste the sweetness of the waters rather than focusing on the bitterness, I think is a lesson for us in our lives because, we have bitterness all around us, but if we look for sweetness, we can find sweetness all around us as well. So we can't let that bitterness stay too long on our tongues. I think if you search for the sweetness, you'll find it, right? To move from that bitterness of slavery into the sweetness of freedom is something that we're meant to do as a people. So it's not just crossing the sea. It's not just the big moments. Sometimes it's the small moments and finding a way to taste the sweetness on your tongue.